Okay, so what could a simple hammer possibly have in common with a super intelligent AI? I know, it sounds like the start of a bad joke, but the answer is a concept that is fundamentally reshaping our world: autonomy. Today, we're going to explore that entire spectrum of autonomy, from the simplest, most predictable tools to intelligence we can barely even imagine. And we're going to do it by climbing what we'll call the ladder of intelligence.
So just look at this. On one side, you've got a simple lever. Its behavior is totally locked in by the laws of physics. You push here, it lifts there, every single time. It's completely predictable. But then you have a complex AI, making moves in a game that no human has ever even thought of. What's governing that? Well, that is a much, much deeper question. The journey from one to the other, that's the story of autonomy we're unpacking today.
To really wrap our heads around this incredible journey, we're going to use a really simple but powerful metaphor: a ladder. Each rung we step on is going to represent a huge leap in independence and complexity. As we climb, we'll see exactly how we got from basic tools to the AI we have today. And maybe, just maybe, get a peek at where we're going next. So, you ready to start climbing?
All right, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just lock in our main idea. When we say autonomy, we're not just talking about sci-fi robots. We mean any system at all, whether it's a bit of code or a living thing that can act on its own and make decisions without a person constantly pulling the strings. So here it is. This is our ladder broken down into 5 distinct phases. We're going to start on the ground floor with systems that are completely under our thumb. Then we'll climb up to systems that can actually learn for themselves. And finally, we're going to venture way up into the clouds, into the wild realms of conscious and even post-human systems. Let's take that very first step.
All right, so our first 2 steps on this ladder are planted firmly in a world that is predictable. And it's predictable by design. This is the comfort zone, the realm where humans are the architects, and our creations do exactly precisely what we tell them to do.
Let's break this down. In phase 1, you've got your physical systems. Think a lever, a pulley, governed purely by physics, simple. In phase 2, you have algorithmic systems like a search engine, governed by code written by a human. But here's the crucial link, the thing that ties them together. Both are 100% deterministic. The same input will always give you the same output. They're powerful, for sure, but they can never, ever truly surprise us. You know, this quote from the father of computer science himself, Alan Turing, just perfectly nails the feeling of phase 2. We build these complex systems by just solving the problems that are right in front of us. We write the rules, we define the logic, we build amazing things one line of code at a time. It's a powerful extension of our intelligence, not a replacement for it.
But now we're about to take a massive step up the ladder. This is where things start to get really wild. We are entering phase 3. This is where machines stop just following our instructions and actually start learning for themselves.
And this is the Great Leap. It's a total game changer. We're moving from systems that can only follow the rules that we painstakingly write out for them, to systems that can create their own brand new strategies to win. It's the difference between a calculator and an AI that can beat a world champion at Go. And phase 3 isn't just about computers, not by a long shot. I mean, look at these examples. You've got AlphaGo, the AI that blew everyone's mind with its creative, almost alien moves. But you also have an ant colony, which somehow finds the most efficient path to food with absolutely no one in charge, or even a virus, constantly adapting and evolving to stay alive. They're all running on the same basic operating principle: self-learning and adaptation. So what's the secret sauce behind all of this? It's something called emergent behavior. Think about those ants again. No single ant has a master plan. Not one. Each one is just following a few simple rules, like follow the chemical trail. But when you get millions of ants doing these simple things together, this incredibly complex and intelligent group behavior just emerges. That's the mind-bending power of phase 3.
But, and this is a huge but, this incredible new power comes with a serious trade-off. We enter what's called the black box. See, with a phase 2 algorithm, you can trace every single step of its logic. But with a phase 3 learning system, we see the information that goes in, and we see the answer that comes out. But the why, the internal logic it built all on its own, can become a total mystery. And that forces us to ask some tough questions. How much do you trust a diagnosis from an AI when you literally can't understand its reasoning?
Okay, take a deep breath, because we are now climbing into much thinner air. We're moving beyond mere complexity and into the realm of pure philosophy. Phase 4 takes us past systems that are just hard to predict and into the territory of the truly unknowable:
consciousness itself. The jump we're making here is just massive. A Phase 3 system, as complex as it is still grounded in data. Its behavior is a result of the patterns it's learned. A theoretical Phase 4 system acts on something else entirely: subjective, internal experience. It's the difference between an AI that can recognize a cat in a photo and an AI that actually feels what it's like to be a cat.
Now look, a truly conscious AI is still firmly in the realm of science fiction. But we don't have to imagine what a Phase 4 system looks like because, well, we are one. You and me, humans are the ultimate example. Our decisions aren't just based on data. They are driven by emotions, by values, by creativity, and by that weird, mysterious thing we call self-awareness. We are, at our core, fundamentally unpredictable. And as the philosopher Daniel Dennett points out, it's not like we've got this all figured out for ourselves. We don't even have one single agreed-upon theory of our own consciousness. It's still one of the deepest mysteries there is. So if we can't even fully explain it in ourselves, you can imagine how monumental the challenge of building it from scratch really is.
All right, let's brace ourselves for the final climb. We're going to the speculative summit of our ladder. Phase 5 takes us beyond what we know, beyond even consciousness, and into forms of autonomy that we can barely wrap our minds around.
So what could a Phase 5 system even look like? The possibilities are just staggering. Imagine a hyper-intelligence, an intellect so vast that all of humanity's combined knowledge looks like a toddler's crayon drawing. Or what about a collective consciousness, where billions of minds merge into a single entity, experiencing reality as one? Or maybe even artificial deities, beings so powerful they could literally create new universes with new laws of physics.
And this leads us to what is arguably the single most important question in AI research today: superalignment. If you are building something that has the potential to become a god, how on earth do you make sure its goals align with ours? How do you even begin to explain human values to an entity that might not perceive reality in any way we can comprehend? This isn't just a technical puzzle. It is a profound ethical and philosophical crisis waiting to happen.
So, as we stand here, looking up at this incredible, terrifying, exhilarating ladder of potential, the question just hangs in the air. What are we building here? Are they our partners, our replacements, or are we building our gods? Every single step we take up this ladder brings us closer to an answer. The journey from a simple lever to a thinking machine is a story that we are all writing, right now, and the future we get depends entirely on the choices we make on every single rung.